all things balance out.
Or do they?
On today's
Rezonator!
we are talking God's multiple personalities and epic endings.
Just like my last relationship.
Just how they wrapped up episode 6, the season finale of Moonlight on Disney+. That's right, the season finale of Moonlight wrapped up today on Disney+, and Papa North is going to break it down for you and tell you why this episode was awesome. And oh baby, let's get down to the nitty-gritty and tell you what happened in this episode. We start off with Layla being confronted by our hippopotamus and offering her to take up her form as an avatar so she can help save the day against Ahmed and Arthur Harrow.
Because never send a man to do a woman's job.
But after witnessing the aftermath of what the gods have already caused, she declines and then goes into Mark Specter's pocket to take the scarab and find Arthur Harrow herself.
Cause she's a gold digger!
And after breaking Ahmed free of her stone enclosure, Arthur Harrow and his cronies then go to Ahmed's tomb to see if they can actually resurrect the gods. But just like any good Middle Eastern movie, Arthur Harrow and his cronies are stopped by a military roadblock on the highway.
Wrong roadblock, but points for trying.
But with his Ahmed-induced staff, Mark Harrow makes quick work of the roadblock, leaving one military member to survive because his soul was pure.
The same pureness Joe Biden looks for in children so he can allegedly.
But is then confronted by the Council of Gods, but Mark Harrow makes quick work of him with the power of his cane.
I take Neiman over Harrow any day.
And after resurrecting Ahmed, Ahmed tells Harrow, do not let the pain of your past control you.
Just like my shrink tells me twice a week.
And instead lets Mark Harrow become her avatar to wreak havoc and revenge on the world. And with all hell breaking loose, Layla realizes the only way to stop this madness is to release the Khonshu.
Kinda like Pandora's box with less jewelry.
Which leads us to an epic fight between Khonshu and Ahmed. These guys are like 10 stories tall.
It's like King Kong versus Godzilla, but less sandy. Wrong sandy, but it's amazing what you can do with a glass eye socket. Allegedly.
That's right, this fight is just epic between the two gods. They are smashing against the pyramid while Mark Harrow is sucking up souls and Ahmed's getting stronger.
Not a song by Kelly Clarkson, but I still wouldn't. I just wouldn't tell anybody.
We then go back to the Field of Reeds where our hippopotamus talks to Mark Specter and says his soul is now balanced and he's ready to move on to the afterlife to see Osiris. But Mark Specter isn't ready to call it a day, and he leaves our hippopotamus in the Field of Reeds to chase down the sandy and zombified Mark Specter to make a little credence with his soul.
Like that time I ate a box of Twinkies while watching The Facts of Life.
And after some touching dialogue by Mark Specter, he then tells Stephen Grant, you are the only superpower I ever had.
Give this man an Oscar! Because there's still a lot to sweep up in this episode.
Mark and Steven then merge as one and begin to head their journey back to the tomb. And as Khonshu and Ahmed battle on, Mark Specter and Stephen Grant, now one, try to re-enter the tomb, but Osiris is quickly behind them in the form of a sandstorm.
Just like Arnold Voslos, but a little less gritty.
But just in time, our hippopotamus comes with the ship of Anubis to stop Osiris, allowing Stephen Grant to turn into the Moon Knight.
Because none of us saw that coming.
We then go to Moon Knight, who quickly turns into Mr. Knight to bargain with Khonshu, saying, I will agree to help save the day if I can live the rest of my life without you holding me under your thumb.
The same life he could have led if he just would have signed those divorce papers.
Realizing he is backed into a corner and all hell will break loose, Khonshu agrees to these terms. But realizing they bit off a little more than they could chew, our hippopotamus then has to possess Layla and make her avatar to help Stephen Grant and Mark Specter in this battle.
Like a bad 84 Wonder Woman cosplay with a hint of Sam Wilson.
This is a great little scene though, and Papa North loves how Mr. Knight finally gets to show some of his fighting techniques as he begins to hold his own. But as Ahmed absorbs more souls and the fighting becomes more intense, Specter knows it's time to bust out the Moon Knight. Then get a great little triple fight between Layla, our hippopotamus, Mark Specter, the Moon Knight, and Arthur Harrow. But Harrow gets the better of the Moon Knight, and that's when
Layla saves him, because Disney couldn't pass up the opportunity to have a BIPOC woman save the day.
we then have a quick scene where some bystanders get trapped in a van that's flipped over from the fight, where Wonder Woman 84
Layla
saves him from the wreckage as Mark Specter continues to fight
Arthur Harrow.
But the Moon Knight and Layla get the best of Arthur Harrow and decide through a spell to bind him to the god Ahmed so they can finish this fight once and for all. And the final decision where Mark Specter has to decide to let Arthur Harrow live or die, he decides not to be a weapon of destruction for Khonshu anymore and let him live, and Stephen Grant demands the release from the Khonshu.
Just like CNN employees are demanding their release from Ohio prison, allegedly.
But just like episodes before, Mark Specter blacks out, and when he comes to, not only is there a pile of dead cronies, but Arthur Harrow himself is also dead.
Or Disney's Ethan Hawke budget just ran out.
Leaving Mark Specter to proclaim it wasn't him that did us, and leaving the audience to wonder, is there more to this than meets the eye?
Not what I was thinking, but still better than the show we got.
We then wind up with Mark Specter back in the asylum talking with Dr. Harrow. He flips between personalities between Specter and Grant, but they become a little more balanced, and that's when they start to notice the blood on Dr. Harrow's shoes.
I liked it the first time I saw it when it was called the Joker.
And with Mark Specter and Stephen Grant in control, it is now Dr. Harrow who is the patient who is being wheeled out of the asylum when a mystery character comes in and says, "I'll take it from here."
Call Robert Stack because this is an unsolved mystery.
We then see our mystery character wheel out Arthur Harrow into a limousine where he promptly kicks over his wheelchair and enters the car. All dazed and confused,
Wrong movie, but I would. Twice.
we then find Harrow in the back seat, now talking to Khonshu.
Looking like he's dressed to go to the Met Gala, with less mass subservience.
And as Arthur Harrow thinks he has escaped his imminent doom, Khonshu then taps on the window.
Thank God it wasn't Windows 11 or that thing never would have opened.
And when the window rolls down, who do we see but our third personality,
Jake Lockley.
and as he puts a couple of bullets into Arthur Harrow, it leaves this show wide open for Season 2, and Papa North is very excited for that. And finally, just like we began this series, we have Mark Specter waking up in bed, and as he goes to get out, he is still chained.
For sure he didn't sign the divorce papers.
And then goes to check out his fish tank where he now has 2 goldfish, showing the balance between Mark Specter and Stephen Grant coming to peace together.
And unlike Trudeau's budget, his soul balanced himself.
But overall, Papa North loved this series. He thought it was great, especially being more of a newbie to the Moon Knight. I'm very excited to see what they can bring the audience for Moon Knight Season 2. But tell me what you think. Did you love this show, or did you think it was an absolute dumpster fire? Don't forget to leave a comment below and a like, because the more likes and comments I get, gives me more of a chance to make great nerdy content for subscribers like you.
And while you're watching the video, hit subscribe. It helps a new creator out. We have broke 40 subs and are almost at 50. And at 50, I'll be doing Funko Pop giveaways and live streams.
As always, a big shout out to the Rezonator for our Nerd North theme song. We hope you enjoyed it.
Links are in the descriptions down below.
And until next time,
Nerd North.